So in this demo, we'll be covering a high level, like an overview of what is Pega and what all will be covered in the CSA course. And I'll also give you a short demo of how Pega is used, like how to configure things in Pega. So to start with, Pega is a BPM tool. So first, what is BPM? BPM is called as Business Process Management. It is actually a methodology. It's actually a methodology to manage process and workflow in an organization. That means, say any process in a organization. For example, you want to hire a candidate. First, you will be making a call to the candidate to get the candidate details. Then you will be forwarding those details to your business people. So if it suits their requirement, they'll ask you to arrange a call back to that candidate for the interview. So once interview is done, if he is selected, he'll be getting a offer letter to join the company, or else he'll be getting a rejection mail. So this is a process, and company will have a certain workflow for this. And to manage this process and workflow in that organization, BPM comes into picture. And what is the goal of BPM? The goal of BPM is to increase the efficiency, performance, and agility in day-to-day operation of the business. So unlike other methodology, BPM will increase the efficiency enormously in the organization. So when I say efficiency and the performance of Pega, it will be like very good when you compare with the other tools, and the efficiency will be at a high level. And there are certain other BPM tools in market. Say for example, APM is there, IBM BPM is there, but Pega still now it is the leader in BPM market because of its upgraded version. Like it keeps updating itself. Like you have a latest version coming in every quarter or half yearly once. So you will have to keep upgraded yourself, and Pega is the leader in BPM market. So the latest version of Pega as of now is 8.3. So probably you can expect another latest version in I mean in some months. So what is Pega? So Pega is a BPM tool, and it is developed by a American based company called as Pega Systems. And it is not any coding language, but it is built on Java. So Java is used to build Pega, but it does not mean you need to learn Java. No language knowledge or any coding knowledge is required to learn Pega. But just for your understanding, Pega is built on Java, and Pega uses OOPS concepts in Java. Say for example, inheritance, polymorphism, encapsulation. It uses the OOPS concepts in uh, Pega. And before coming to learn Pega, you can just brush up things, or you can just learn what is OOPS concepts in Java, what are the OOPS concepts, and what does each definition means. So that would be enough for you guys to start off with Pega. And in it is used in various industry solutions like financial services, insurance, telecommunication, healthcare, etc. So I'll explain some of the scenarios for each industry solutions. Take for a financial services, and say you're having a credit card and you are having some dispute for it. So you will be calling a customer care and saying, "My your credit card is lost, or you have some fraudulent transaction in it." So there will be a process to resolve this issue. So that comes in BPM, and Pega is a part of resolving this use case. Same as insurance. So I will be getting a call from customer care saying you have a new insurance policy or you have to renew your insurance. So this is one typical example for an insurance. And for telecommunication, say for example, you'll be getting a notification or offer message like every now and then. For New Year, you'll be getting some offer, or Christmas, you'll be getting some offer. So these are some examples for telecommunications. So it is used in various industry solutions. And Pega, it helps us to create web-based applications. It is actually really used to create the web-based application. So why Pega? There are different BPM tools are available, and languages are also there, like Java, .NET. But why we need to choose Pega? What are the advantages of Pega? It is a business-friendly tool. When I say business-friendly tool, say you have a BA in your organization, and your BA wants to demonstrate something to your customer, your client. Say like, this is how a workflow will look like. So at a high level, this is how your project, your application will go. In that case, Pega plays a major role because a business user can also work on Pega in a module called as Pega Express, wherein he'll be able to design an outline of workflow and he can showcase it to customers. So it is a business-friendly tool. And the second and major advantage of Pega is it eliminates the need of coding. As I mentioned earlier, you need not have any coding knowledge for this. No language is required to learn Pega. It is a tool, and you just need to configure the tool and customize the tool to build your application. So without the help of coding, it helps you to build complex system with out of the box features. So what is out of the box features? In general, out of the box means it's outside the boundary. So it's like you have to think outside the boundary. So that is called as out of the box. But in Pega, out of the box means within Pega. So say what are within Pega, it is called as out of the box. So without the help of coding, it allows you to build a complex system within the features that Pega has. And next is it builds solutions in fast and more effective way. Say for example, the typical example what I explained you in the first slide. Say you are hiring a customer and you want to build application for this in a conventional programming language like Java or .NET. If it takes like 1 year, in Pika you can complete that in 6 months of period. So it builds the solution in a faster and adapt to business changes quickly. Say for example, you are in your application is in live, and there are business rules involved in it. So I'll explain that later. And you want to change some business rule in your application, which is already in production. So that time, Pega is a tool which will adapt the change very quickly. The business changes very quickly, and you can get the immediate effect in your production. And it increases the efficiency and performance. You all know, what is efficient performance, and it used to build the reusable components. So one of the main purpose of community Pega is building reusable components. As I mentioned, OOPS concept like inheritance is one of the concept in OOPS. So based on that, we can reuse most of the components in Pega in a correct architecture way. So if you define your application in a perfect architectural manner, then you can reuse most of your components for the future releases. And framework reduces the development time. There are some frameworks we can purchase while you are getting Pega itself. So some of the frameworks like CPM and Smart Dispute Management. So your customer is a banking client and they wanted to purchase. They wanted to build application for a disputed transaction. They wanted to develop a process for Smart Dispute. In that case, Pega already provided a framework known as Smart Dispute Framework. You can just purchase this framework that will have an skeleton and inbuilt process how a smart dispute workflow should proceed with. You can just customize on the workflow. So it will reduce your development time. Also, the efficiency will be more because like already Pega will have the correct architecture and everything built on it. So there are some frameworks which will be helpful for you to reduce your development time and increase the efficiency in Pega. So next, we are going to see the components in PRPC. First of all, what is PRPC? PRPC is called as Pega Rules Process Commander. Pega Rules, it means like we can split this into two parts: Pega Rules and Process Commander. Pega Rules are something classes and libraries and rules which are there in Pega, and Process Commander is something it will use to store the inbuilt Pega rules and fetch the rules during your execution. So that is called a process commander. And the two typical components I would call in your Pega PC would be a workflow and a business rule. So I'll just draw a flow chart to explain on this scenario. So let's consider the workflow which I mentioned in the PPT. So workflow is something, say for example, if you want to hire a candidate, so initially you will be starting with the interview process, then it will be a technical interview. If he gets selected, there will be another managerial round. So it is for select another manager round will be there. And in case if he gets rejected, no, so the process ends there. So this is a decision which will allow you to decide if he is selected or rejected based on the interview feedback. So this is typically a workflow, and this workflow it will have everything like UI, integration, decisioning components, what are all required to run an application. So it will have everything. So this is typically called as workflow. And what is a business rule? Say for example, in your decisioning component, we have a scenario. Your technical feedback will be like in a scale of 10. So initially you will say you have 8 bar 10 is a decisioning strategy. Like if we get 8 and above, he will be selected or else he will be rejected. So this is a business rule in your production. So later on your organization takes a decision like only 8.5 is the minimum criteria. Then this business rule can be changed on the fly in production without any development intervention, and it can be into immediate effect. So this is called as business rules. So typically, these are the major two components what we have in our Pega. And whether this is an overview of Pega, and I would like to give you a walkthrough in Designer Studio and Pega tool. So how easy it would be to develop application without any coding. Just a simple application. So I I'm creating a new application. And so there are some default template provided by Pega OTP template. So I'm just taking one of the template for this demo purpose. It's a leave request template. So I want to run my application. First. So what I'm showing is the process of creating a application in Pega. So I'm using the Pega 8 version. The latest we have is 8.3. So there are two things. One is enterprise application person edition. So enterprise, wherein you will have the ability to run in your organization. So this is personal edition. I'm just providing the default user. So we done creating the application. So let's log in with the user and see how it looks like. So I need to change my password since this is my first login to the application. So there are different studios available in Pega. So admin studio which used for the administrators of Pega to monitor different agents, business and all the backend processes. And another is App Studio, which I mentioned during my demo for the business user. So it has some limited scope and it is used to create doc cases with limited scope. And then there's Dev Studio, which has the full capability of Pega. So if you see now I'm in the leave request application. So these are some of the components. So recent is something which you will have the access to your recent items and case type. So this is the case type which is created for our application leave request. So you see Pega itself provided as a basic template. So I'll just add some few of the fields and I'll show you how easy to configure the things in Pega. Say I want to define some attributes in Pega. So I'll take for example first name, last name, date of birth. So here you can define the attribute type, it is the text or date or whatever it is, and phone number. So I defined some of the attributes here. So let's look how we can put it here. So Pega, for example, any UI things you need not write any code, just a drag and drop option. You will see. So I'm just configuring the view. I'm just going to define the view what I have created over there. So if you see, this is the property which we get over there. Just click, we'll add the property here. So this is how simple your development is. And you can make if it is a required field or not. Okay, for example, I'm making it a required. So I define the four fields there. I'm just deleting this step for now. So let's run and see how it comes. See, so you got your application with the fields. Since it is I have a defined residential, I will not be able to type any text over there. So it's a required field. When I try to submit, you will get a message where it cannot be blank. So if you see like how easy to develop an application, like the being the UI components. So this is how Pega works, and everything in Pega is called as rules. So we have different rules defined in Pega. If you go to records, you can see all the different rule types. So you need to understand the purpose of each rules and where to exactly use those rules. So that is how the Pega works. And in your CSA course, you will be covering the courses that in PDN, which will help you to for the certification purpose. And apart from that, I would give you how many projects and I will explain the real-time project scenarios when we go across each courses, and I'll also help you in the exam preparation. And these are the technical certifications. So you will be here in the first part here. So CSA will be the certification which we'll be planning to cover in this course.